Originally, I was planning on doing a video on what the captains will look like of the Clover Kingdom following this arc, but I want to wait a little bit longer because I'm hoping we can get maybe like one or two vice captains to make an appearance before we go about that, because there's definitely, I feel like some of them will come into play, because it really, when you look at a lot of the really powerful characters, we only know a lot of the Black Bulls, the captains, and then a couple of people outside of that. And I don't think it would really make sense to do one run that's like, well, which member of the Black Bulls is gonna go off and make a new squad? But I feel like it would just be too much of just Black Bull attention. So I'll instead do a Black Bull attention video. That being, what exactly is up with their vice captain? Again, I was thinking about vice captains, and there has been word. Tabata hasn't given us much information, but he said that we haven't met the Black Bulls vice captain yet. And if you look at the silhouette of the Black Bulls from Chapter 2, you can get a good look at everyone on the team. You can see from left to right, Gordon, Magna, Vanessa, Henry, Yami, who looks to be either Finral or Luck. Probably Finral, since he looks so tall. Gray, back when Gray just took that form of a really gigantic person, and this mystery character. But I was under the impression that Henry was going to be the vice captain, which I think would have made a lot of sense, given that Henry really was the first member to join after Yami created the Black Bulls. The Black Bulls base is actually Henry's family estate that he has, and he is as powerful, given enough time, as a captain, but, he has to stay constricted within, to a degree, the confines of the base. He has to be within range of it. I mean, we've seen some exceptions when he had that little tiny mini base that he had earlier in this arc. Obviously, he can't just carry that around with him at any time he goes out on a mission. And I like the idea of, there always being someone to defend the Black Bulls base in case something happened. Now, that ended up not being the case. He's not the vice captain. There was no note of him being the vice captain. And then we have this character, obviously the red arrow pointing to them, of a mystery individual, of somebody we don't know who that is. The only person amongst the Black Bulls that we haven't got yet. And the thing is, like, beforehand, it could have been just like, you always get series where you'll have a silhouette group of characters. And the reason they're silhouetted is because their designs may not be final. Maybe the author wants to alter it. Or a funny instance, Fairy Tail, when originally the team of Raventail was shown for the Grand Magic Games, there's one dude with a staff that was drawn to be in the group, and then you never see him again. And here when she was just like, yeah, I don't know why I drew him. He wasn't part of the plan. I just wanted to put him in that picture. But that's kind of like, you can get that idea a lot from silhouettes, especially. Like, again, silhouettes aren't final. That's the whole point of drawing them as a silhouette. And we got that with every single other member of the Black Bulls, including Henry, who we didn't get until the 150s, I believe. In chapter 150s. You see this silhouette of him here, and then you see him a little bit, him walking in an upper level of Vanessa's flashback during the Witch's Forest arc, right before she unlocked Rouge, her cat that manipulates fate. So, and given how much Tabata has shown that he thinks ahead, he has a lot of the story and a lot of the characters all figured out. And I find it weird that he would have one character amongst the Black Bulls, the main character group, Asta's team of everything, and there just being one character who we haven't seen yet. And I feel like the more likely thing, given that we haven't seen the vice captain of the Black Bulls, Tabata has made it aware, made it known that we haven't met the vice captain of the Black Bulls yet, obviously them existing, and just this one last character that we've seen silhouetted, and especially within the first mention of the Black Bulls themselves. So, well, the idea is, what is this character off doing? Where are they that we haven't seen them? And I feel like the most likely chance is that this character, when you think about the other kingdoms, and you think about, like, what what do empires and countries do on a regular basis if they're not going to, you know, war and battling others, is the potential that they are doing like espionage and spy work, maybe, you know, undercover, trying to keep an eye on another group. You know, again, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if we found out that there's a handful of people from the other kingdoms within the Clover Kingdom. They don't cause any ruckus. They just listen and hear information. And it wouldn't surprise me if we found out that that the Clover Kingdom has spies within the other kingdoms. Because again, that would be a logical thing for a vice captain to obviously do. Somebody who is clearly reliable enough, you know, strong enough, and experienced enough to be able to go do something like a covert op mission. And in case of anything bad happens, they would be capable enough to deal with whatever situation comes out of it. So we'll see. Hopefully soon. There's a lot coming from this whole theory of what we'll get when we finally see the Black Bulls vice captain. We haven't seen a lot of the vice captains. I think we've only seen 4. We've seen Kirsch, who's the vice captain of the oh, was it the I almost said purple orcas, not the purple orcas, of the coral peacocks. We had poor Xerx Luger, however you pronounce that dude's name, the one that got trashed by Zora at the start of the Royal Magic Knights exam. He is the one that is the vice captain of the purple orcas. Randall, the vice captain of the Crimson Lions, and Langris, who is the vice captain of the Golden Dawn. We don't even know if the Golden Dawn's still going to be a group after this, but it just makes you wonder what exactly who are the other ones? What are they doing? Because again, we could literally have the other ones, the other vice captains off in another country and just relaying information, or maybe they're going to dungeons, or they're just doing other secret missions. There has to be a reason that we haven't seen them. They haven't been around, especially the Black Bulls vice captain, because you think that that'd be a character that we would see relatively quickly. But the fact that they haven't, Tabata being to the point where he's acknowledged, you know, the presence of the Black Bulls vice captain, that it has to be something important enough for them to not be around and for nobody to mention them at this point in time. You know, maybe we'll get some ridiculous actual like explanation of the Black Bulls vice captain. I've seen some weird theories. I saw someone like a picture of someone trying to relate, because you see at the bottom of those boots they have those like kind of straps off, that like going outward from the boots, and that Rev Chief kind of has that. And I was like, I don't know about that. I don't know if that would be a logical way to. The Black Bulls vice captain is the guy that Asta beat in Chapter 1. No, that'd be dumb. I mean, it couldn't be, because if you look at his design also, the hair design is a little bit different. You can tell that it isn't just the Black Bulls, you know, the cloaks that all the Magic Knight has. You can look at his design, and he has like this kind of like weird puffed up sleeve kind of thing. Like, I don't know what those are called, but you can kind of see what I mean, the way that it looks a little bit frilled. Other than that, like, it doesn't look like one of the cloaks, though. It doesn't look like one of the any of the Magic Knight, like, you know, their signature cloaks for their own groups. But other than that, drop a comment below and what you thought about this. What exactly is the reason that you think that is going on with the Black Bulls vice captain? Do you think that they are? Do you think that they're possibly just non-existent yet? I feel like if it was like, oh, the Black Bulls don't have one yet, Yami hasn't decided, I feel like for that to be the case, Yami would have had to note that, or, you know, Tabata wouldn't have made a comment like this. I'll have to look for the comment for if I do a future video talking about the guy when he finally shows up. But I don't know, I feel like if it was just, oh, we don't have a vice captain yet for, you know, certain reasons. You know, we know a lot of the Black Bulls are, they're not actually, a lot of them aren't actually high ranked because of the fact that, you know, they're getting a lot of shenanigans. And, you know, we know that a lot of them are really low ranked because of the fact that they, you know, they get in trouble a lot. And that could be a reason, but that hasn't been noted yet. We haven't had a reason for it yet. And again, the fact that Tabata went over it, I feel like he'll have a reason that we haven't met them yet. Again, I'm giving my money to like an undercover reconnaissance kind of mission. That, you know, they're doing information relay, making sure of any of the other kingdoms in case, you know, they're planning to attack or do something. They'll relay it over. Because I talked about, just really quick before I close this video, I talked about a little bit of the potential for the Diamond Kingdom being able to attack after this arc because of you know, the amount of exhaustion, the damages the Clover's in. We don't know if they're going to get the captains that have been possessed by the elves back. We don't know a lot of what's going to happen after this arc. But it wouldn't surprise me is if after this arc, you know, the vice captain of the Black Bulls and maybe like a couple other people who within their group shows up and they're like, oh, you guys are back. Oh crap, you guys are back. What does this mean? And they're just like, yeah, the X Kingdom is going to attack. You know, even if it's not the Diamond, it could be one of the others. Just like the idea of them just being like, yeah, we've been keeping an eye on for a while, and now they're gonna make their move. So we need to do some stuff. And again, I think that'd be a really smart way to bring in a character that is new, but not really new, because they existed in the group before the story even started. But other than that, like I said, drop a comment below and what you think they're up to. What do you think the Black Bulls captain has been, or captain, vice captain has been doing, and what do you think they're going to be like? I feel like the only thing we really can tell with the hand on the face, maybe they're like some weird Vayne-like character. And I really appreciate, other than that, if you would thumbs up the video, prefer the like button and the subscribe button, and check out my other videos. But that, I really appreciate everyone who's already subscribed, and I thank you all for listening. Bye.